So in this video, I'm going to be giving you 10 steps to write a killer CV when you don't know where to start. So this is sort of a part 2, episode 2 to this video I did called How I Wrote the CV That Got Me Degree Apprenticeship Offers from JLR and Rolls-Royce. So I'll just recap that video quickly, just in case you haven't watched it, and then I'll get into this one. So that last one was basically about the structure of a CV. So I went through how to structure it in all the different sections. So starting off with your name, then you put your details in here. Then you have a personal statement, which is about 3 sentences that explains who you are, what you want, and some of your skills and qualities. Then there's the education section. Then there's the work experience section, and then there's the key achievement section, and in total you want your whole CV to be at about 2 pages. So that's what we covered in that video. That was just letting you know the structure. Now maybe after watching that video you know what the structure is, but you just don't know where to start, or you're a bit stuck, or you're procrastinating. No worries, this is the video for you. So I'm going to give you a step-by-step walkthrough on writing your CV, so you can just do it with me or follow these steps in your own time, and then you'll know where to start. You won't be stuck and you won't be procrastinating. So step 1, this is just writing down the title, details and education sections. And these are just going to be straightforward because it's just information you're writing down. You don't have to come up with any sentences, you don't have to start thinking about ideas. You just have to get the information down on the page. So that's an easy enough task to start. Just write your name, write your details, and then get that education sorted. That should just take 5 minutes, really, quite straightforward. Now moving on to step 2. So this is the bit where we have to start coming up with ideas, but really it's not as hard as you think. So step 2, start brainstorming ideas for your personal statement. Think about who you are, what you want, and your skills and qualities. Use the job description to help you think of the skills and qualities you want to mention. So I'll brainstorm this with you right now. This is just the kind of thing you'd want to do. So think about the first question. So who you are, and a good answer for that is what year of school you're in. So you could say, so you could write, I'm a year 13 student, or a year 12 student, or whatever you are. You just write that down. Then in the next one, what you want. So what sector do you want a degree apprenticeship in? Well, how about we say in the construction industry. Okay, see how I've just simplified it down to these questions? It's just simple. Who you are, what you want. I'm a year 13 student and I want a degree apprenticeship in the construction industry. Seems simple enough. Now, skills and qualities. This is where basically you want to make a list of the skills and qualities you have that you want to highlight, and you can use the job description especially for this job. So basically, if you look at the job description, go down to the skills and qualities section, and you could basically list out all of these there. To be honest, that's what I recommend you do. If that's not something that's available, they don't have explicit skills, then just think of the best skills you have. So for example, think of communicative, interpersonal skills, team working. Maybe you have leadership skills. Maybe you're really driven and motivated, and when you do a task, you do it thoroughly to the very end. So you see how easy that was? Just write who you are, what you want, and then a couple of skills, and then you can move on to the next step. Simple as that. So, step 3, write your personal statement. If you've done the previous step and thought of the specific skills and qualities you want to put in, this should be easy. So only 3 or 4 sentences, don't overthink it. And I've just, you can use the example up here if you want some help. And also, let me just write one for you now. So if we start looking at these qualities, what are we going to put? So we could put a driven and motivated year 13 student looking for a degree apprenticeship in the construction industry. And there we go. That's just a quick one I've written in 1 minute just from these skills, and it just shows you it's not that hard when you just break it down into the 3 questions: who you are, what you want, and then your skills and qualities. And there you go, you have your 3-sentence personal statement done like that. It's really not too difficult if you don't overthink it. So now the next step is make a list of all your work experience activities for the work experience section. Remember, this can include virtual work experience as well as volunteering roles and part-time jobs. So you basically want to list on here as much as you can, basically. If you say you were Saturday job at the garden centre, work experience at Uncle's factory. So you basically just want to make a list of all the work experience you've done. That's all you need to do for this step. Now the next step, this is where after each work experience activity you want to write a couple of sentences about what you did and what you learned, and you want to make it link back to the job description. Again, that's a good tip, link back to the responsibilities and skills in the job description. So for example, if I do this first one, what we're doing is just going from our list of all the different work experience to actually writing a couple of sentences and explaining it, so that there's more than just one tiny sentence on the CV, because it doesn't really say anything in terms of skills and what you've already done. So you want to add some stuff on here, just something like that, a couple of sentences, learn about site safety and what's doing in the event of emergency, also shadowed the senior engineers, which is a good experience. So you can basically just put any activity you did, and you can write as much or as little as you want to. I would recommend do a lot at this point, write all the activities you can, and then you can do this for all the other activities, which I've already done up here. Yeah, and you just get a couple of sentences after each one, and then you basically should have a long list of quite a few work experience with a few sentences afterwards, so they're ready to go for the CV. So now going on to step 6, we need to repeat step 4, but this time for key achievements. So let's just check what step 4 again was. Step 4 was making a list of all the work experience activities. So for this, we need to make a list of all our key achievements. So in the first video, I went over what sort of things you could have as key achievements. So let me just remind you and do that again for you. So you can have Duke of Edinburgh, prize at school, online course, club society, sports team, music exam, stuff like that basically. So all we have to do is just make a list of the key achievements in categories such as these. For example, maybe you won the essay writing prize at school. Maybe you did an online course on marine engineering. It was our silver Duke of Edinburgh. I go to school's drama society or something. Maybe I'm in my school's football team. Grade 7 violin. So again, just making a list, not too difficult. Just have a look at all the things you do in school, outside of school, any extracurricular hobbies, extra learning you do, all that sort of thing, and just make a list. Dead easy. Now moving on to step 7, repeat step 5, but this time for key achievements. So just a reminder, step 5, that was when we were converting the list of work experience into a full sentence we can actually use in a CV. So now we're doing the same for key achievements. We're going to convert this list into one we can use in a CV. So for example, if I start off with Silver Duke of Edinburgh Award, this is what you do for it. So you'd get that and convert it into a sentence or two, which shows the skills you've gained through each achievement. And there you are. Required leadership skills when the morale of the other members of my group dropped and they no longer wanted to continue the expedition. That's basically gone from you just saying you've done the Silver Duke of Edinburgh Award, which is good. However, now you're explicitly stating that you have leadership skills. So that's how you want to do it basically. And I've done the rest of them for you here, just to give you some examples of the kind of thing you can write basically. For example, rather than just saying you do an online course, you can talk about the things you learnt to show how your knowledge is advanced, and also the skills requires discipline and initiative, which would be useful in degree apprenticeship. And you can basically just explain things just like I've explained them there, and it will basically upgrade your CV from just a list of things to a list of explained things that explain your skills, your qualities, your experiences, the activities you've done, and shows how you'd make a good candidate. So once we've got those, we should now go to step 8, and we should now have a 3-page long CV. This is what I said in the last video I did. You want to basically, in these steps up here, you want such a long list of work experience here. It gives you a really long list when they're in sentences. Then again, you have a long list of key achievements, which is even longer when it's put in sentences. You basically want to have a 3-page CV once you've done all of that, full of key achievements and work experience. Okay, so that is my goal to you, that I would recommend have 3 pages, because then, well, just we'll get to that next bit later actually, but 3 pages long is what I'd aim for. So if not, then I would definitely recommend get some more work experience, learn new things, start some different hobbies. And this video of mine, how to get work experience for degree apprenticeships full guide, that is a good guide, a good thorough guide for how you can get work experience, in-person work experience and virtual. If you want to learn new things, virtual work experience is a really easy way to do it, and I'll show you exactly what websites to go on to get virtual work experience. So I definitely recommend checking out this video if you're in this category and you don't have a 3-page long CV yet. But I'm going to move on now, assuming you have a 3-page long CV, and we're going to go on to step 9. So step 9 is you want to cut the CV down to 2 pages maximum. And I mentioned in my last exam, sorry, not my exam, I mentioned in my last video on CVs, the one about the structure, this is the cheat code to getting degree apprenticeships. Cutting down your CV like this, because you have 3 pages and you cut down the things that are only relevant to job description so that your CV exactly matches the job description. That makes you the ideal, perfect, dream world, best case scenario candidate, basically, because you cover every single thing in the job description. So this is why I recommend you have a 3-page long CV, so you have the space to cut it down to 2 pages, leaving only the most relevant things from the job description. And it's a cheat code. It will get you degree apprenticeships like nothing else. All right. And then the final step, step 10, is to export as a PDF. I would strongly recommend submitting CVs as a PDF. Normally they want a PDF anyway, but if it's a choice for a PDF and a Word document, I'll just go with a PDF. And the file name, I mentioned this in my cover letter video about how you want to leave the file name as professional. You don't want to just leave it as whatever you had it on your computer, like my CV or Goldman Sachs CV or JLR CV version 2. You want to put every single CV and every cover letter you do into this format, which you put your first name dash, second name dash, and then CV or cover dash letter dot PDF, just because it's that final really good presentation that just makes you look very professional. And congratulations, now you've got to the end of those 10 steps to writing a killer CV. So maybe at the start of this video you didn't know where to start, you're a bit stuck, you're procrastinating. I've walked you through this step by step, so hopefully now you should be able to start writing that CV. And if you follow all these tips, you got a CV worthy of receiving offers from JLR, Rolls-Royce, Goldman Sachs, KPMG. These tips are really good for getting a degree apprenticeship, especially this 3-page long and then cutting it down to 2 pages. That is the #1 cheat code in this area. Now I hope this video has been useful. If you want a copy of the document I've been going through in this video, first link in the description, there's a link to this document so you can go through all those 10 steps in your own time and make the killer CV that you're looking for. If this video has given you any value, please share this video around, put it in the group chat, send it to a friend, and leave a like down below. It really helps. So if you've got any value from this video, I'd be really grateful if you'd be able to do that. And stick around for more videos on degree apprenticeships on the channel. Thanks very much.